Namaste and welcome everyone. We are just about ready to get started. Just a few quick housekeeping items. We are running a tad behind, so I appreciate your patience. And I will introduce the Swamijis just now. And after the Swamiji has spoken, we may have a short Q&A depending on the time available. So please bear with us if your questions do not get addressed today. So we welcome you here. So we are very fortunate, and it's a great blessing and honor to have amongst us Swami Balabhadranandaji today. Swamiji has been serving as an Assistant General Secretary, Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission Belur Mutt since 2012. Swamiji joined the Ramakrishna Order of Ramakrishna Mission, Institute of Culture, Kolkata in 1976. And received his sannyasa in 1986. Swamiji was blessed to be initiated by revered Swami Nirvananandaji, who served as the personal attendant to revered Swami Brahmanandaji, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Balabhadranandaji also had a long association of almost 3 decades with revered Swami Lokeshwaranandaji at the Institute of Culture, Kolkata and at Narendrapur. Swamiji served in the Publications Department and Youth Affairs of Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture for 3 decades until 2005. Later, he also served as a Secretary of Ramakrishna Mission Asansol, an educational institution, for 7 years until 2012. Swamiji is currently on a hectic international tour and will also be speaking at the Parliament of World Religions in Chicago on August 18, 2023. It is a great privilege indeed to have Swamiji share his words of wisdom on spiritual life and the Holy Trio. Welcome, Swamiji. We are also blessed to have amongst us Swami Tattvamayanandaji. Swamiji is well known to all Bay Area devotees, but let me give you a brief introduction in case you are new in the audience today. Swami Tattvamayanandaji is minister in charge of the Vedanta Society of Northern California, San Francisco. Before coming to the United States in 2012, Swamiji served in various centers of the Ramakrishna Order in India as editor, publisher, and teacher of Sanskrit and Indian philosophy. Swamiji is frequently invited for lectures on yoga, Vedanta, traditional Hindu scriptures, and also for interfaith dialogues. Welcome, Swamiji.
Good evening and thank you all. I offer my pranams to the Holy Trio and loving regards to Swami Tattvamayanandaji. My loving regards and best wishes to all of you in the audience also. This is the first time I have been in the West, so I look upon it as a holy pilgrimage to be in USA and in Canada. I entered through Canada because Canada is the first Western country where Swami Vivekananda set his feet in 1893, and USA is well known to have discovered Swami Vivekananda, the Swami Vivekananda whom we adore and follow. So, the topic of discussion, as has been fixed for today's evening, is spirituality in the light of the Holy Trio's teaching, something like that. I'll be failing in my duty if I do not express my love, best wishes and gratitude to Swami Prasannath-Anandaji, who, though absent, and will be meeting me at Belur Math itself, has arranged all these things and monitoring also. He is now in Japan, as I came to know yesterday. He called me and requested me again to be here and deliver a short speech. So spirituality in the light of Holy Trio's teaching. You have heard that I had the good fortune of being initiated by Swami Nirvananandaji, who was a personal attendant to Swami Brahmanandaji. He passed away in 1984. So he would be regarded with very much esteem as a realized soul. This is a speciality with the Ramakrishna Mission monks, that no monk of our order ever say anything of their personal spiritual attainment. They won't say anything, disclose anything if they have realized God, and surely they would not say that they have realized God unless they have realized God. So, but regarding Nirvananandaji, we were in an advantageous position, so to say, because it was well known to all that he served his Guru so well and all through led such an impeccable sadhu life that he must be a sadhu of the highest order. In addition to that, it is well known that being pleased with his dedicated service, Swami Brahmanandaji, before his passing away, blessed him as this, that you have served me so well all through these years. So I bless you that you attain Brahmogyan. And later, after Nirvananandaji's passing away, Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji, who became president, he also one day, being pleased with one of his, being pleased with services, said that what Raja Maharaj said to you, I also endorse that. I also say that surely you will have Brahmogyan. So it was known to all that Maharajji and Mahapurush Maharaj blessed him with this Brahmogyan. Blessed him, gave him these blessings, very rare blessings. So towards the end of his life, not I myself ever asked, but our senior Swamis, some of our senior Swamis asked him, and one of the Swamis got it recorded also. I heard that. The Maharaj, Raja Maharaj blessed him like this, that he would have Brahmogyan. Do you feel that you have attained Brahmogyan? You have already attained that. And Maharaj, yes, I have attained. And so easily he says this, that I cannot understand from the hearing the recording whether that Swamiji who asked this question or somebody who was standing there. So an expression of surprise came out of him, like that, an expression, because it is very rare that you come across someone who can say with all confidence that I have attained Brahmogyan. And he said, I have no doubt now. Thrice he was asked, and he said, I have no doubt now that I have attained Brahmogyan. So one day, I was present, and he was saying to somebody, you see, people may come to us for diksha or grace, but unless one practices spiritual disciplines, nothing will able. So, what he wanted to mean part of this, that surely Guru's grace can do wonders, but unless one pay attention to regular spiritual practices, one can reap the sufficient benefit of the grace that Guru had already showered on him. So, this is one thing. Everybody, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, and Sri Ramakrishna, all of them have advised that you have to be regular in your spiritual practices. Sri Ramakrishna says, Guru Bakke Vishwas kore kichu kaj korte hoy. Keeping faith in the instructions of Guru, you have to do some work. Here, work means tapasya or following spiritual disciplines. So, a Guru is required very much in our spiritual life. Guru means teacher. For learning everything, we need a teacher, competent teacher. So, this is a thing that concerns our internal world, which cannot be perceived by our senses. We do not know anything about our internal world. So, regarding the affairs of internal world, we need a teacher much more than anything of this external knowledge. So, Guru is required. Raja Maharaj ji, in his famous book, Spiritual Teachings of Raja Maharaj ji, in that book he says that even a thief has to learn how to steal from a veteran thief, and it is actually true. I can, in a lighter vein, I can put before you an example. There was one commissioner of police in Calcutta, police commissioner of Calcutta. His name also I can mention now because he had passed away long back. His name was Bikash Koli Bosu. He was an initiated disciple of Swami Balabhadranandaji Maharaj, 10th president of our order. So he would often come to Institute of Culture to meet Lokeshwaranandaji, and after meeting Lokeshwaranandaji, he will sit with Swami Purnatmanandaji, Shankar Maharaj, who is now the head of our Dhaka Center, who was previously editor of our Bengali journal Udbodhan. At that time, Purnatmanandaji also was at Institute of Culture. He is senior to me in Sannasho by two years. So he would be talking with Purnatmanandaji for a while, and after that he would leave. So one day he was talking, I overheard that the pickpockets, how they train others. So after theoretical training, they are put to practical test. So one of the practical tests is like this, that one gourd or pumpkin, one razor blade that will be broken in two halves and that will be tucked in between two fingers. So the practical test will be this: one gourd or pumpkin, over that a wet piece of cloth will be put, and he would be asked with that blade to cut the piece of cloth without leaving a scratch on the skin of the gourd. Probably it has changed nowadays, much advanced maybe, because I heard it some 25 or 20 years, 1978 if it is, so more than 30 years back. So it is true that you have to learn. So we need Guru, competent Guru we need. After that, following Guru's instructions, we have to do our spiritual practices regularly. And Guru gives the comments, a mantra is given. Mantra. Ramakrishna Maharaj used to say, in a very rational way, he will talk about all these things. He says that these mantras are like formula. Just as in physics, there are formula like E equal to mc square, a formula. This stands for a great phenomenon of this physical science. So similarly, these mantras are also, they stand for great, profound spiritual truths. So with this belief, we have to have all Shraddha to Guru, we have to have all Shraddha to the mantra, and we have to, with all this Shraddha to mantra and the Guru, we have to continue our spiritual practices, japa and meditation. Meditation is sometimes difficult for most of us, but we can continue our japa. Especially Holy Mother laid very much stress on the efficacy of japa, repetition of mantra. He used to say japat siddhi, she used to say. By japa alone, by repeating the holy name alone, you can attain the fulfillment in your spiritual lives. Sri Ramakrishna also says, Bhagavaner naam hocche nirmali. The name of the holy name of God is a purifier. So if you go on repeating it, if we can apply our whole mind to the repetition of mantra, surely we'll reap the most benefit. But even if we cannot apply our whole mind to it, we'll have some benefit. So great stress is given on repetition of the holy mantra, on japa, repetition of mantra. Holy Mother says that like the ticking of the clock, you have to, throughout the day, you have to go on repeating your mantra mentally, and it is very much possible. It is very much possible. And when we generally are instructed that we should continue japa and meditation together. Suppose my chosen ideal is Shiva, and I have given a mantra like Om Namo Shivaya. So generally our gurus advise like this, that you start repeating your mantra, at the same time you try to see the image of Om Namo Shivaya you are repeating. At the same time you try to see your chosen ideal Shiva in your heart. And generally we are advised that when you try to see Shiva in your heart, your chosen Ishto Devata or Ishto Devi in your heart, you will try to imagine that Ishto is sitting in your heart facing, frontwise. You are looking frontwise. Ishto is also seated in your heart looking frontwise. So I'll repeat Om Namo Shivaya with my eyes closed. Along with that, I'll also try to see the image of Shiva within me. So I'll continue this way. So if my mind is focused, on totally on the Ishto Devata or Ishto Devi, my japam, the rhythm of the japam will be less. Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, I am repeating. So it will be slow. More of the mind will be focused on the Ishto Devata. That means I am able to meditate now. I am able to meditate. If the focus is disturbed, then immediately I'll continue repeating the mantra. So suppose I sit for 2 hours. So never during these 2 hours I will totally delinked from the Godhead, from or my chosen ideal. So this way we can do. And another thing, this sadhana should not be, it is said in our scriptures that you have to whole day niravachinna toilo dharavata, and unbroken, just like unbroken flow of oil when it is poured from one pot to another pot. You will have to continue your spiritual sadhana. So even if we regularly sit for 1 or 2 hours for japa and meditation, that will not be enough for any spiritual attainment. So what to do? The whole day I have to convert into sadhana, and that is what the Ramakrishna mission sadhus do. We have to keep this in mind, that there is no qualitative difference between the way of life that a sadhu or monk of the Ramakrishna order follows and a sincere devotee following the ideals of the holy trio should observe. There is no qualitative difference between the two ways of life. If there is any difference, that would be quantitative difference. I want to say that in our case, the whole world is our own. The whole world, we have to take care of the whole world. In your case, as you have been placed in a household. So in your case, your family is compared to us a little smaller, maybe 100 or 200, including your family members, friends, and near and dear ones. So the same, we are also in a household, in a family, you are also in a household. See, the way of life that a Ramakrishna Mission sadhu follows daily, that should be the way of life that a devotee or admirer or follower of the ideals of Holy Trio also should follow. So how do we start our days? Ramakrishna Mission sadhus start their days in a monastery. They early in the morning they get up. After getting up, they sit for maybe 1 hour or 2 hours as it is possible for japa and meditation. And in Ramakrishna Mission, President Swamijis, Vice President Swamijis, and some of the selected Swamijis who are empowered to give initiation, they give mantras. In most of cases, these devotees and the sadhus receive initiation from the same Guru Maharaj of our Ramakrishna Mission. Same mantra, maybe your mantra and my mantra also may be the same way of daily spiritual practices. So we start our day in our monastery with japa and meditation. Maybe 1 hour or 2 hours we devote in the morning. Again in the evening we devote 1 hour or 2 hours for our regular spiritual practices. After that we read some holy books. It may be scriptures, it may be written in Sanskrit, or it may be holy books on the Holy Trio or direct disciples or any other holy book. So it is called Shraddha. Shraddha is very much important. So that we do. After that we get engaged in work. Generally, when you come to our center, especially in India, generally no devotee can see that Ramakrishna Mission or sadhus are doing japa and meditation. They are mostly engaged in works, especially the centers like educational centers or Belur Math or hospital centers. You will find the sadhus are always engaged in work. We are not found to be engaged in meditation. Very rarely you find. But it does not mean that we do not do japa and meditation. We do it. But most of the time we are engaged in work. And as I said earlier, that Ramakrishna Mission sadhus, they do not say anything about their spiritual attainment. But our Gurudev Maharajis, our President Maharajis, Vice President Maharajis, just now as I talked of Swami Nirvanaనందji, we take it for granted that they have reached the goal. Because they have been like that big log as mentioned in the gospel. Small piece of wood, it can float alone on water, but big logs are there which can themselves float. Along with that, they can carry others also. So our President Maharajji, Vice President Maharajji, our Gurudev Maharajis, surely they have become those big logs. So how they have become big logs? What is it? I mean, how they have spent their life? Suppose I take the example of Nirvanaనందji Maharaj, about whom I mentioned. He passed away probably at the age of 94, and he joined maybe at the age of 20, even below 20. He was a freedom fighter. So more than 75 years he has spent in the Ramakrishna order. Now if we consider each day of his life, every day he has how much time he has spent in meditation. His life was Gahananandaji Maharaj, you have heard his name. He became president after Ranganathanandaji's passing away. So he was part of the 14th president. So Gahananandaji Maharaj joined at Bhubaneswar when Nirvanaనందji Maharaj was the president of that center. So from his reminiscences we come to know how was every day of Nirvanaనందji. 4 o'clock he would be found sitting in the shrine. So he would do japam for 1 hour or more than 1 hour. After that, he would be engaged in work whole day. Whole day you will be engaged in work. Then after evening, you will take a little and you will disappear in a kutia. It is still there in Bhubaneswar, Surji Maharaj's kutia. So whole night he will be engaged in japa and meditation. Still, if we count every day of his life, how much hours he has devoted to the conventional form of japa and meditation. Conventional form of japa, conventional form of spiritual practices. Conventional form of spiritual practices, by conventional form of spiritual practice, we understand japa, meditation, reading of holy books, or going to pilgrimage, etc. And how much time he has devoted to work and service activities. If we count every day, then perhaps we would find that out of the 75 years, he might have spent 25 years in that conventional form of spiritual practices like japa, meditation, pilgrimage, reading of holy books, etc. Remaining 50 years he has spent in work and in service. That means he was able to convert work into worship, service into puja. So that is a new thing that we must do, every one of us, unless we can convert work into worship and service into a service also is a form of work. Unless we can transform work into worship, we won't be able to reach anything concrete. We will not be able to realize God as we see in our spiritual life. So that we will have to do. The day we joined, any sadhu who joins our monastic order is advised by this. This he is instructed. He is instructed by the seniors to keep in mind always that this holy order, that is the gross body of Sri Ramakrishna. As a member of the holy order, whatever you do, that is Sri Ramakrishna's work. So this we are taught, and Holy Mother advises to the householders also this. The family you are in, don't think that family belongs to you. That family belongs to Thakur only, Sri Ramakrishna only. So whatever work, whatever duty you would have to do here, you would always remind yourself that you are doing that as this family belongs to Thakur. Whatever duty is assigned to you, whatever duty you have to do, you will consider that Thakur's work only. So the same method. So we have to do this. We have to convert every bit of our work into worship. Raja Maharaj says how to convert work into worship. From the very beginning, you cannot make work, you cannot do that. Work is worship. From the very beginning, you cannot do work as worship. Then what to do? First you start as this. Raja Maharaj advises the novices, brahmacharis. First you do both work and worship. That means you have fixed a specific period of your day for that conventional form of spiritual practices, japa, meditation, shraddha, etc. Maybe 2 hours or 4 hours. Sadhus spend comparatively more time in japa and meditation than average householders. But there are many householders who do lot of japa and meditation. So initially, suppose you have fixed 2 hours in a day for your conventional form of spiritual practices, worship. So 2 hours you do worship as worship, and the work portion of your day, maybe 15 hours you have to be engaged in work. That work portion also you try to do, that also you do. First, 2 difference. You are doing work and you are doing worship also. Then you keep your duration of worship hour fixed, and the work part you try to do as worship. The second step is work as worship. So when you continue to continue to do your work as worship, gradually one day that work will be as good as worship. That means worship will remain worship and work part also will be worship. So it is possible. In Shanti Ashram, Turiyanandaji used to teach Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda told him before assigning him this task that you have to preach Vedanta only. But this Vedanta does not mean that it won't include this puja, etc. You will see, surely you have read Turiyanandaji's life, especially his life at Shanti Ashram. He is always talking of Divine Mother. Preaching Vedanta, but he is talking of Divine Mother. So there, one lady disciple, probably that Ida Ansel. So she was assigned to take note of Turiyanandaji's classes. So she was taking notes. At that time, one day, that pencil became blunt. So it needed to be sharpened. So there was a knife at hand, but that knife was a little blunt. So he tried to sharpen the pencil, but it was not nicely done. Turiyanandaji saw it. He was giving instruction. He was giving classes, but he noticed that the pencil has not been sharpened rightly. So he himself took that knife with that blunt knife itself. He did the sharpening. I sharpened it rightly. Then he said, "You see, whatever work you would be doing, you have to do it as an act of worship. And because it is an act of worship, you have to do every bit of your work as much perfectly as possible. So this we have to do. Otherwise, we cannot achieve anything in our spiritual life. Whole day, suppose we do meditation in household, we do meditation in the morning for several. After that, we are busy for our work, maybe for cooking, maybe busy in our office work. So we'll remind ourselves whatever we do is doing for Thakur only, because every being is Thakur, every being is God. Swami Vivekananda, in a lecture in America, he was explaining, he gave a new definition of renunciation. Renunciation is not this, that you have to renounce your near and dear ones. Swamiji says, yes, it is true. The Upanishad says that without renunciation, you cannot have immortality. Immortality means you realize that you are the self. You will not die, your body will die, but you will remain. You remain before death, you remain through your life, and you remain even after death. So this immortality you cannot attain without renunciation. Swamiji says that it is true. Rishis, they cannot be wrong. But renunciation does not mean a modern form of renunciation that everybody should do and can do. That Swamiji gave. Renunciation does not mean that you have to leave your near and dear ones and retire in the forest. No, it is not true. It is not true. If you do, you are heartless. You are a brute. Human brute you are, Swamiji said. Then what to do? Swamiji says that you have never seen anything other than God. If just now I have realization, our Upanishad say, Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanneva anupashyati sarva bhuteshu atman sarvam khallidam brahm. If just now I have that ultimate realization as the sages of the Upanishad had, what I will see? I will see I am Brahman. Everybody else is Brahman. It is the truth. Even truth does not depend on our accepting it. Truth is ever complete. Law of gravitation. The newborn small babies, they have not heard about Newton and does not know anything about law of gravitation, but for that they are not given any concession. So similarly, truth is this, that every being is a real truth is this, that I am immersed in the ocean of God. If I am immersed in a river or an ocean, water everywhere. Similarly, God everywhere. God everywhere. This is the truth. This is the truth. Swami Brahmananda could see it. Swami Vivekananda could see it. He is Brahman. One day he is talking and said, he is Brahman. He is Brahman at Belur Math. And everybody is feeling Brahman. Baburam Maharaj was walking. He became stand still. He is Brahman, he is Brahman, he is Brahman, and everybody is feeling something is happening. Everybody is becoming standstill, looking upon me. Swamiji is saying, you are Brahman, I become standstill, like that. So he is saying that we are immersed in Brahman. That is the truth. That is the truth. So this truth we will have to practice. Swamiji says that you have not interacted with anybody, anyone, any being other than God. Only wrong you have done this, that so far you have taken God for this table, taken God for that animal, taken God for that particular being. From now on, you have to change your outlook on this world. First see God here, then see this table. So this change of outlook, this change of viewing at the world, you discard this world as world and have a relook at it as God. This is renunciation. The way we are used to look at this world, the way we are used to accept this world, that will have to change. So every being, everything is God. So whatever we are doing, what we call puja, the same thing, the work that we do for God, we call puja. If that work is done for somebody else, we don't call puja. In India, this example is very applicable. Suppose I hear, as I pass by, many temples are there on roadside. So if I pass by the road, pass by a temple, I can hear the ringing of the bell coming from a temple. What we say? The puja is going on. Then another school comes. School also, they ring bell to start class. Most of the schools, especially in the suburb area or village area. So ringing of the bell is coming from a temple. I'll say puja is going on. Then after a while, ringing of the bell is coming from a school. I say I will not. If the ringing of the bell itself would have been puja, I should have said that puja is going on in the school also. Maybe both the bells are purchased from the same shop, same brand, having the same brand. But there the bell is being rung to God. That is why it is puja. And here the bell is not being rung to God. That is why we say that some work is going on, classes are to be started like that. So if we use this in a reverse way, any work, if we say that this is for God, it will be puja. And whatever work we do for human beings only. And every human being is God only, even if we do not understand. So it is very easy. So only a belief should be required. We have to believe in this, that everybody, every being is God. So all our work will be puja. And great stress is laid on service. Shivogyane Jive Seva, Swami Vivekananda uttered. Shivogyane Jive Seva. So everybody heard it, but only Swami Vivekananda could understand it. Great stress is laid on reading of gospel and our literature also. Very much. Yes, gospel is very helpful. Swami Brahmanandaji once advised a young girl. He was about to leave. He was in station. Train has almost reached. At that time, a young girl came and offered his pronouns to Swami Brahmanandaji and sought for some spiritual instruction. Brahmanandaji said, the train has already reached. I cannot give you any instruction other than this, that every day you read gospel. There you will have everything. Yes, it is good. Gospel is a great book. Gospel, Christopher Isharu says, the most important thing, most significant thing about the gospel is that its nounness. Christopher Isharu says, nounness. That means it is happening just before me, as if Sri Ramakrishna is moving about just before my eyes, as if I am in that room at Dakshineshwar where Sri Ramakrishna is talking. The nounness. So gospel is very helpful to think of Sri Ramakrishna. All these things, all these spiritual intricacies are described there in such a simple language so that everybody can understand. Gospel is very much effective for our spiritual life, but only gospel cannot do. We have to reach Swamiji also. I give an example. Shivogyane Jive Seva. Sri Ramakrishna uttered this in presence of Swami Vivekananda and many other disciples. Probably M also was present there. But nobody could find anything extraordinary in it. Only Vivekananda coming out of the room said that I got a new light in this utterance of Sri Ramakrishna. If I find the right day, if the time is propitious, I will one day preach this message to the entire world. So long we thought that to proceed on this spiritual life, we have to be heartless. We must not have love for our near and dear ones. But today, I realize that that is not necessary. Whoever I love, I have to look upon him or her as God himself. So, increase your love. Do whatever you do. Only think that everybody is God only and try to serve everybody, help everybody, looking upon them as veritable God. So, he said this. Then, Shivo Gyane Jiveshava. I, for one, could not understand when I was young. First heard this Shivogyane Jiveshava. Everybody, all of our sadhus and others also, whenever they mention this Shivogyane Jiveshava, they become very much excited over this. So I could not understand, but I didn't say anything. Otherwise, I would be fooled. That expression, that phrase seemed to be rather difficult. Later, I found that much easier expression of the same truth is there in the gospel also. Sri Ramakrishna says in presence of, surely in gospel M is always present. Sri Ramakrishna says that you can worship God in the clay image. Cannot you worship God in living image of human beings? Protimay Bhagavaner puja hoy, জীবন্ত মানুষে কি হয় না? Is not it much easier expression than Shivogyane Jive Seva? But this is the difference between Narendranath and Mahendranath. With all respect to Mahendranath, M I say, because M's role was different in this mission of this age, the avatar of this age. M's role was this, that not to interpret Sri Ramakrishna. Interpretation was left for Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda himself once said to Nivedita that Sri Ramakrishna did not understand how great he was. He lived that God-centric, wonderful, unconscious life. He was that wonderful, unconscious life, wonderful life. But how wonderful his life was, he was not conscious about that. He led his life and left it for me to interpret, Swami Vivekananda said. So Swami Vivekananda's role was to interpret. Only Swami Vivekananda's role was to, interpretation was left for Swami Vivekananda only. And M's role was, with all gratefulness to, I have no intention to, nobody can have this intention to belittle M in any manner. But his role was this, that whatever message will fall from the lips of the incarnation of this age, of Sri Ramakrishna, that he will carry unaltered to us. That he has done, but that he is not given. This is the difference. That is why when we joined, even before joining, we would be advised repeatedly, you read Kathamrita, that is good, but along with that, you have to read Swami Vivekananda also, to understand the real purport of the message of Sri Ramakrishna, as well as, yes, Sri Ramakrishna. So this we have to do. Shraddha is very important. So what we will do? We'll do our japa and meditation. We'll convert our work into worship. This is very much possible because I work for some human being only. That human being may be known to me or may be unknown. But my work is dedicated to, first connected with some human being only. And that human being, even if I cannot realize, but actually he or she is God. So I work as worship. And work as worship, what will be the characteristic of work as worship? That you will apply your whole attention. Whatever efficiency you have, you apply to it. You cannot neglect it. Then if it were your work, then you could have neglected. But as it is not your work, but it is work of a far superior being, that is Sri Ramakrishna or God, so you cannot do any negligence. You cannot afford to have any negligence about your work. So wholeheartedly you have to apply your, wholeheartedly you have to perform your work, and all the time will remind you that it is not my work, Thakur's work. Even if you forget, then after doing your work, you offer it to Thakur. Whole day, whatever I thought, whatever I done, everything, it may be good or bad, everything I offer to you as worship. And then another thing, Swamiji says in the Karma Yoga. Swamiji says in the Karma Yoga, that what are the characteristics of Karma Yoga? That unselfishness is the characteristic of Karma Yoga. We may sometimes think that, am I doing this work as a Karma Yoga? You'll ask your heart, you will look within, whether you have been able to do it with an unselfish motive. If you are becoming more and more unselfish, then you are doing Karma Yoga. That means your work you have been able to convert into worship. So this way we can proceed. Everything we have to do, not one thing. Along with that, prayer is required. So what things? We'll do our japa and meditation. We'll read holy things, especially Gospel, Swami Vivekananda's life, Swami Vivekananda's words, as well as the lives of direct disciples. Then we'll be always helping others. We'll have a helping attitude to others. Whatever work we'll do, we'll work in a spirit of worship or in a spirit of service. And we'll be always up and doing to help others, because every being is God. And then along with this it will come, but we should have a watchful eye on this aspect, that we'll have to be better human being every day. Many a time we concentrate spiritual life on these aspects: japa, meditation, reading holy books, visiting holy places, meeting Swamis, listening to the discourses, like this only. But we do not pay our attention to improve ourselves as a better human being. Because we fail in this aspect, sometimes we cannot reap considerable benefit from our spiritual practices. Now, what it is mean by a good human being or a better human being? Swamiji says, if somebody has these 3 H's, H for Hamilton, if an individual has these 3 H's, then you can consider him as a perfect human being. H for heart, H for head, that is intelligence, and H for hand, that is ability to work. And of these 3 things, Swamiji placed most important on heart. Swamiji even said this once, that if you have conflict between heart and head, then you follow the dictates of heart. Swami Ranganathanji says, not that you will be one not that your personality should not be like this, that you have intelligence with a mixture of heart. Your personality should be this, you are mostly full of heart. You have heart with a little mixture of interest. Heart is the main thing. Swamiji says, heart, intelligence is just like sweeper. It sweeps clean the road you are going to traverse, but it is heart that carries you forward. So heart and the mixture of intelligence. Intelligence and judgment, that will save heart from pitfalls. You have become so emotional, just as Swamiji became emotional, that I'll sell the Belur Math land to serve the plague-stricken people. Then Swamiji says, Holy Mother came, no, put reins on it. No, you cannot do that. How can you do? Will Ramakrishna Belur Math will be spent in one service activity only, and apart from that, you have no right on Belur Math, because you have already handed over everything to Raja, Swami Brahmanandaji. So, a mixture of heart with a little mixture of intellect, that should be there. So, we have to grow in heart, we grow in feeling. We have to be always helping, we have to feel for others. So, these are the few things we should have together. regular japa and meditation, then reading of holy books that will provide us inspiration, daily inspiration. If we can have the company of sadhus, the holy company, that is good, but always it is not possible. So the holy books, they act as substitute for sadhu sangha, the company of the holy. So reading of holy books is very much required. That also should be part of our daily spiritual practices. Then we have to convert our work into worship. Swami Shuddhanandaji, so he used to do puja, Kali puja, keeping awake all night. And towards the later part of his life, when he was the editor of Udbodhan, he used to keep awake to read proofs, to prepare manuscript. At that time, he used to say, "This is the same joy I feel, as if I am doing Kali puja." One day, Lokeshwar on the bed, how our sadhus, they are able to look upon work as worship. One day, Lokeshwarandaji, at that time, he was the secretary, he was the founder secretary of Narendrapur Educational Institute, big educational institution. At that time, he was the head of Narendrapur Center. So he came to Belur Math in the evening to get a very important paper signed by General Secretary Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj. He will get the paper signed and immediately he would leave. So as he was climbing hurriedly the second floor of the building where Madhavanandaji stayed, he found it was evening, so his light in his room got switched off. So he realized that Madhavanandaji has sat for meditation. So he was walking and walking. He went to Mother's temple, offered pranam and walking. After 1 hour and even after that, again the light was on. He then entered. So Madhavanandaji greeted him smilingly and said, "When did you come?" He realized that the file he has come. When did you come? Then as soon as Lokeshwandi says that I came more than 1 hour before, why did not you enter? আপনি ধ্যানে বসে গেছেন, you have already started to meditate. He got very angry. Oh, ধ্যানে বসে গেছি, তার মানে কি আমি সমাধিস্থ হয়ে গেছি? Did that mean that I was immersed in samadhi? So what to reply? So he is keeping silent. So that meditation concerns Sri Ramakrishna, pointing to the file. That is not Sri Ramakrishna's work. So this is our attitude. If a all renouncing monk of a very high stature can consider, work as worship in this manner, then we can do it. Raja Maharaj Ji, at that time he was president. Sometimes that bridge, that bank of the Belur Math that was being cast. So whenever the water of the Ganges will be low tide, then only they could walk. So all the equipment, cement and all the things, all this will be kept ready there. And whenever the water will go into the low tide, then a bell will ring, and then all will rush and they will start working. Sometimes that bell for work will be rung during the Mangalarati time, during the meditation time in the morning. See, leaving aside all meditation, sadhus will rush to the bank of the Ganges to do the work. So this way, we have to combine all this. We have to be regular in japa and meditation, and all the time, maybe 1 hour I do my job, all the time, I'll continue, I'll try to repeat my mantra. With the practice for 2 or 3 or 7 days, we can do it. There itself I said, the Lokeshwandi said to me, that I have seen even Nirvanandaji like that. All the time he is repeating the mantra. Raja Maharaj used to advise that. Through all your work, this mantra should continue. The repetition of mantra should continue. He said the wheel of mantra should go through all your activities throughout the day. So with a little practice, we can continue to repeat our mantra. I am working. That is also a form of linking your work with worship. So that will do. Then yes, work will be converted into worship. Service will have a helping heart. Always will be ready to help others, and will look into the heart to improve ourselves in human qualities. No pettiness, broadness only. Always try to no jealousy. Jealousy is a very bad thing. Somebody is doing good. I am having a burning sensation in my heart. That is very bad. So, if we find that those things, some qualities are there which are not good within me, then I should pray. Prayer is very effective. Prayer is very effective. Nirmananandaji when they told me, I asked, Maharaj, does he listen to prayer? Yes, yes. Then I said, young man at that time, but I have prayed, he does not listen to big. That means you have not been able to pray from heart. With all yearning, akuli bikuli prarthana korte hobe, exact words. You have to pray earnestly, then he will listen to us. So this will be there. Whatever is deficient in us, I'll pray for that. We have been advised by one of our senior monks. I used to advise the brahmachari that try and cry. Self-effort should be there. Also prayer should be there. Mere prayer will not do if you do not try. And mere mostly depends, spiritual life or anything mostly depends on your self-effort. But everything cannot be done by self-effort also. So you have to try. Along with that, you have to pray also. That is why I used to say, try and try. Self-effort and prayer. So these are the things, not that one or other. All the things. And in addition to some more, if you think, or if you are advised by senior sadhus, you can follow. But these things we should follow. These are in gist, the core of what we receive from our holy trio for our daily, for practicing spirituality in our daily life. Thanking you all. Any time for Q&A?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Tomorrow the programs are
5 minutes.
Okay, so
I want to
and
talk
yes,
for half
continue
an hour, but I
traveling.
talk more
And
than
trying-
that. Sorry.
and we apologize. The mistake was on our part to not keep the program on time. But please, if someone has a burning question based on the wonderful words of wisdom from Swamiji, please stand up and ask that question now. Thank you.
Hopefully, unfortunately.
Swamiji, the thing is, whatever you say, it seems easy, but it's so difficult to actually do it on a
Yes,
daily basis.
because it is worthwhile, it is precious. That is why it is difficult, but not very difficult. Once it was asked to some of our very senior Swamijis, like the disciples of Parshaks, I mean direct disciples. He said, is spiritual life very difficult? He said, not very difficult, not very easy also. It is really so. Whatever we have been advised to do, we can do that. But to maintain it regularly, my tenacity is required. My love for that, I mean, that way of life should be there. So that way it is difficult. But as we can do it, it is within our reach, within our practice, I mean, within our abilities. That is why it is not difficult. But understand.
The discipline of getting to that every day.
That is why you have to have fresh inspiration every day. That you can have talking with the sadhus, being in the company with the sadhus in person, or even it is not always possible, or reading these holy books, reading gospel, reading conversation with Swamiji, reading holy mothers. These are burning inspiration, all these. So that way you have to, I mean, boost yourself. Uddharet atmana atman. You have to, I mean, liberate yourself. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Swamiji. On behalf of Vedanta Society, Berkeley, Swami in charge, Swami Prasannatmanandaji, who is present here today in spirit, all devotees and attendees, I would like to offer our thanks and pranams to Swami Balabhadranandaji for visiting our San Jose house today and blessing all of us with his presence and words of wisdom. And I would also like to thank Swami Tattvamayanandaji for being here amidst us. Kindly excuse any mistakes and delays on our part as we conducted the program without a respected Swami in charge. I would also like to thank all volunteers for helping organize today's event and all devotees and guests for attending today's function and making it a success. Thank you. I just have a very quick announcement that on September 6, 2023, there is a spiritual retreat at Samuel Taylor Park in Marin County. The details are on the website of Vedanta Society Berkeley and also on the Facebook page. Please do read and attend the retreat by registering in advance. Now I would like to request all of you to continue sitting in this hall as our Swamijis make an exit, and after that there will be dinner prasad that will be served in this very hall. So please continue to sit.